Hey guys, welcome back to Twin Dragon Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Mike,
And I'm Bobby.
and today we have an interesting topic. We want to talk about the relatively new animated movie from Disney called Luca. And just to start off, Bob, tell us what was your thoughts of watching Luca? Oh, I should probably say spoiler alert. Anybody who hasn't watched Luca but wants to watch it should probably go watch it and not listen to
Yeah,
this. But if you
go
don't
watch it.
care, continue to listen. But
Yeah,
yeah, how's Luca for you?
I loved it.
Why?
I liked it really a lot because just I don't know, there was, adventure, it was creative in that, there were sea monsters. And it was not for me, it was not the typical, Disney movie. No one was a prince or a princess. And it was about, someone trying to have adventure away from home, which I feel like I can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, escape my hometown and in seek of adventure somewhere else. Um, and that was kind of like something relatable to me. And I think some of the things that I also liked was that I think something that he wanted to do, he found someone along the way that he can have companionship with. And there was like this whole new adventure that he was able to have and just discover, yeah, just a whole new world.
A
Um,
whole new world.
which explains the name of the boat. I guess for people to understand, we kind of looked up the Easter eggs for the movie, and one of the
Yeah,
boats,
most of it just flew over my head.
yeah, one of the boats was Italian for Jasmine from Aladdin, and I really
Mm,
liked it.
good pickup. I
Yeah,
think I think a lot of people can probably relate to this the desire for adventure, right? Because like they're like young boys. I think they're teenagers maybe, but
I feel like they're not even teenagers,
really, how old did you peg them to be?
like 12 or about. Maybe Alberto is probably a little bit older. He has that puffy chest.
Wow. But he is taller when he was drawn that way. Like he's taller than Luca. So I'd
Mhm.
imagine he's probably,
He's
yeah, a
probably a
teenager.
teenager for sure.
Yeah, because he was in the setting of his like backstory, he's like, for the listeners out there, he's by himself for a while now, and his dad abandoned him essentially because he thought that Alberto is old enough to be on his own. So probably a teenager, and like Luca's probably like middle school, you'd say.
Yeah, about.
Because his parents are still pretty protective of him, and they don't want him to like basically hang with Alberto because he's on land and Luca's in the sea, and if they go into the land, the people think, the sea monsters are going to get killed by humans. Humans think they're going to be killed by sea monsters, but both Luca and Alberto are sea monsters. But Alberto has been living by himself on land for a while now, and like you said, Luca wants adventure. And I think like even for me, I can relate to that too. Like, like, although I don't know if when I was like my adventure was like if I was that age playing games, sort of like, take myself out of the world,
In the
and
digital world.
into the digital world where I play my own character, be someone who I'm not, and do things that I can't, like swing a sword around and be like, oh, I'm so cool with these effects. But even like, yeah, like coming to New York, I mean, it was kind of an adventure too, like being in a new place essentially, going to Austin, also a new adventure for college. And I think you're right. Disney has kind of like moved away from like all this prince and princess stuff. But I think they haven't done that in a while for like the last couple of movies, right? I don't know. I don't keep track, but
I don't know. Well, I guess. Well, I think they're just trying to have a wide range of audience.
essentially, while
Like
being,
like how they picked up Star Wars and Marvel.
yeah, I think Disney is just very shrewd at how they make their movies. They basically like I don't know, conquered the entertainment industry basically. Like all their
Yeah.
movies are like blockbuster hits mostly.
Yeah, mostly,
Um,
right?
yeah, especially, but like sometimes the animated films aren't that big. Like Luca wasn't like that big of like an animated film like some of the other ones. But it was still a good, and also like even though they're sea monsters with like quotation marks, they aren't very like scary
Monster
looking.
like, yeah.
Exactly, right? They just like have the benefit of being able to swim underwater without breathing and being on land without needing, like, I don't know, they can still breathe basically on land and water, which is like super cool. And I wish I had that too, to be honest.
Yeah, in my standpoint, I don't think that was like a handicap at all for them. It was like a benefit, you know. They can travel in the water and go real quick, and they didn't go on land and look like everyone else.
I know, right? They just, if they got wet, they just turned back to their sea monster
And it's
appearance.
only in that part of the body if they get wet, like we saw in the I guess in the movie.
I
It was
don't
like,
have an answer for that.
yeah, as we saw in the movie, that if they get wet, you know, a certain part of the body gets revealed as the sea creature.
Yeah, they're like super colorful with like scales and fins. And I think they had a tail too, right? With like legs.
Yeah, like a lizard kind of.
Oh, I think they're supposed to be like amphibians.
Oh,
Like just, amphibians got like 4 feet and a tail maybe. Bro, it's been a long time
kind of
since
like a
biology
lizard,
101. Yeah, kind of like a lizard.
like a salamander, because they're in the water too.
Yeah, but they don't breathe underwater though. But they're like, those frogs, like, before they become like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're like in the water but like on land, but it hasn't like fully like become frog basically.
maybe that's their take on like kind of trying to make it different. You know, they didn't look as dangerous or like scary, but they have a tail. It's like, you know, the Little Mermaid stuff. You know, they had no legs but had a fin and everything.
But how does she like walk on land afterwards?
She had power, or her dad granted it, or the evil sea witch, you know, gave her the power to be able to walk on land. Like
Oh,
they
I
didn't
see.
have, they couldn't do it on their own.
Gotcha. Yo, I remember in like second grade, there was like this like book about all the Disney like tales. Like it was actually written by someone else and Disney just adapted it to like these movies. But
Yeah.
in the original one, the mermaid, when she walked on land, like every step hurt. Like it was like she got poked with like a knife with her feet or something.
Oh my god.
I distinctly remember like somebody telling me or like somebody saying that in the story. I was like, wow, that's some very dark stuff. Like,
Wait, what kind of book is this?
I think it was like supposed to be like the original Mermaid, Little Mermaid, like before Disney took it and adapted it to be like a Disney movie or story.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, I don't know, I could be wrong. It was when I was in second grade, dude. It's been like a very long time, so I don't know if I was right or wrong. But that's that stuck with me. I was like, she does not look like she's having any pain walking on land. She's like super happy, like met Prince Charming and all that. But
Yeah, I think some of the other parts that's relatable is that even though they, you know, were able to go onto land and just kind of venture off, I think they even discovered more about the world around them that they didn't really know about. I think for ones
mhm,
like space and all these other places around the world. And it's interesting because, you know, when I came to college, you know, there were so many things that I wasn't aware of. I think one of them is like how, well, I guess I knew there was other countries besides the United States, but then, you know, I didn't really explore that much of it. I didn't really have that much interest because I wasn't exposed to it. You know, like, hey, you know that you can go to such and such and be able to eat this and such great food, or even like, yeah, exposure to like different foods. And I think one memory that comes up is just, yeah, just being so I wouldn't say, I wouldn't use the word naive, but just so clueless of like, yeah, um I think because college is so diverse, you know, of like, I
mhm.
guess people coming from so many different places, and that, you know, they're coming in just one area of the world, and just
Mm-hmm.
me being marveled like, wow, the world is so much bigger than it seems, and there's so much more to it. And even just like learning about space, I think one of the things, like even when we took that trip to Big Ben, we went to the McDonald's observatory and learned about like dark matter and stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, the world is like still expanding.
Oh yeah, the McDonald's observatory. I was about to say like, were you gonna say McDonald Wi-Fi or something?
McDonald Wi-Fi.
That's like a running joke, but yeah, Luca loved that space stuff, and yours truly right here loved that space stuff too, man. They'd be
Yours
like,
truly.
they'd be like, Alberto be like, yo, that's fish in the sky, and I'll be like,
Oh,
what? But like Luca has that sense of curiosity, man. He's like, ooh, I want to learn more about the world. Um, I I I I can understand that feeling, and I think when I like learn about space, it blows my mind like how big the universe is, like how much more is out there, like in space, and like there's this sense of like awe and wonder, and like why so many people want to be astronauts, because it's like
yeah.
adventure and like exploring unknown, like seeing new things, crazy things, going outside of basically Earth, and stuff like that on like another level, even above. I don't know, but yeah, bro. I think I might have felt that way when I went to China the first time, but I was too young to like really understand. I was like 5 or something.
Yeah.
But I knew the world was big, man, because that flight was too long, basically. Like it took, I don't know, 13 hours or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, dude. Those and then like in the end, like Luca wanted to go to school with what's her name?
I forgot her name.
It starts with like a G. It was like very hard to like pronounce. It's like some Italian name. It's like
Yeah.
Giliana or something.
Yeah.
Giliana.
Yeah. I think it's around that.
Probably like butchering the name, just like most people butcher my name. I'm sorry, butchered her name. But yeah, Luca wanted to go to school with her, and yo, dude, remember that part when Luca sold out Alberto
Yeah.
because he wanted to go. Basically, they wanted to go. Luca wanted to go to school with that girl Juliana, and then Alberto wanted to travel the world and explore with that Vespa, which Vespa, guys, is like some motorped in the movie that they both originally wanted to travel the world on. But then like Luca's like, oh my gosh, the world's so big with space and stuff. And then um yeah, and then they started having a rift, and then dude, that scene was actually pretty like I got little feelings, like Alberto got exposed while Luca and Alberto were fighting near the water. They saw that Alberto was like a sea monster, and then the
Hmm.
villain, what's his name? Ercole or something?
Yeah. Wait, I don't know. Their names are pretty hard.
Yeah, they're like actual like Italian names. And they saw him and they wanted to kill him. And then like, I don't know, Luca turned on him and be like, go back in the water, you sea monster. And then Alberto was like, the heck?
Yeah.
Heartbroken, cracked.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I felt that as well. Like just knowing that the world is so much more, has so much more to offer. And, I think that's what also kind of drives me to want to explore different cities and different states, but also just like, even for us, we want to go to different countries as well to explore. Because like, why? It's not a why, but like we have that opportunity to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
it just bewonders me for even. Well, I guess I understand like people want to stay where they grow up, but I guess like that sense of adventure that not most people, so not everyone has that as well. Like to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, if you have the opportunity, you can go to a different city and live there, or even just a different country. But I guess, yeah, there's a lot of other factors that play into that. But yeah, I do have that dream as well to just be able to explore, I guess, yeah, the world that's around me. Um, I think even for space, because like yeah, Luca had like this big dream of like exploring space with his friend, and he touches the stars and touches the, I guess, the planet that he's observing.
Yeah, but that
um
was like in his imagination.
yeah, yeah,
Like
but
that
it's
that
just
was
like his dream becomes like so much bigger.
mm-hmm.
Like he learns it and he dreams about it and he tries to go for it. But yeah, and I think it's just so nice that what do you call it, yeah, he knows what he wants and he goes for it. But yeah, there is those other factors that, I guess it's nice to see the other factors play into it. There's people involved, like kind of like if we were want to, if he wanted to do something, there it affects not just him but other people. If people care about him, like his family, and then um Alberto, they were affected by it. It was like, oh, you're leaving us. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're going somewhere else. Like the plans are changing again, and it's hard to I guess kind of digest, I guess, in a way. Because I guess for the parents part, like, oh, I thought you were gonna like stay with us and live with us forever, essentially. And then Alberto wanted to like have this other adventure with him, but you know it's also hard for him to kind of like digest as well, to hear those kind of words for him.
Nobody wants to go to school. Alberto's like, I don't want to go to school, basically.
Yeah. Why?
Why would you want to go to school when you didn't have to be in school? And like Luca's like, I want to learn the world. Any more kids like that, dude? I'm pretty sure most kids be like, I don't want to go to school.
I want to be an influencer.
You want to what?
I want to be an influencer.
Yeah. Or like, I want to travel the world and just go on adventures, which is
Yeah.
basically what Alberto wants to do. But Luca's a good boy, because he knows he's broke the rule. Like he originally didn't want to like go out of the water because the sea monsters, like his mom told him not to go out the water. But he got influenced by Alberto.
Yeah. I
But
think oh, go ahead, sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Um yeah, I think even I really liked the work they put into that competition that they had. In the movie
We had a
they
competition.
yeah, in the movie they had this like town competition. Basically you eat pasta, swim, and then you ride your bike around their town. I guess it's their equivalent to a triathlon. And it was it's pretty funny. There's, I think, if people were to, see this movie, they're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna laugh, and you're gonna really appreciate everything that's being said, and whatever you watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even the what do you call it? The practice scenes and the training and stuff like that was pretty fun because they're hiding their true identities, and just also yeah, it becomes something different again, because they practice together to work together to do it, but they end up separating and accomplishing it somehow separately but together, if that makes sense.
They come back together and to
Yeah.
like
To work
as a
together.
as a team effort for them to win the competition. And it's also it was funny, like, because like Luca and Alberto, they are sea people, like they don't do land stuff, so like they didn't know how to use a utensil, they didn't know how to ride a bike, they didn't know how to swim. That's about the only leg of the journey that they were good at. But they couldn't reveal themselves in the water. But it's very interesting how Disney put it all together basically to make things like move forward and happen.
Mhm.
Like it was not sort of like what you would expect it to happen, sort of like how things progressed. Um, and so that was very entertaining to watch. And yeah, so if you guys haven't watched it, we're selling it. So if Disney is listening, hit us up with that sponsorship.
Yes, Disney, please, Disney.
You're just like, you're like, here, take my money, basically. We were on Disney Plus, like watching all these
Yeah,
shows.
Disney. We're also planning to go to Disneyland and sometime in the future. We
Disney
we
World. I
really
think
want to go to that Star Wars exhibit.
the Star Wars land.
Yeah. Yeah, we
that
might want to do that.
Millennium Falcon thingy, like hotel. Build your own lightsaber.
Mm.
At workshop. But yeah, again, this is why Disney's like the king of entertainment. But yeah, I think at the end there was like some credit scenes, and like originally like I didn't even like notice that the pictures during the credit scenes were actually like parts of the movie, or like characters or
Continuous of the movie.
exactly, yeah, like continuous after like the show end, or the scenes ended, and then there's like a post credit scene. But I
Yeah,
wish they'd make a sequel, maybe. Who knows?
a sequel. That would be really nice, actually.
I mean, like Luca in school, right? And Luca goes to school with like, what's her face?
Juliana.
Gilliana.
Hopefully, we're not saying it wrong.
But like, it's kind of interesting that they don't show her at the end too on the train going to school. You know, it's like she's just like gets on the train, disappears, and it's only Luca staring out the window, like, and like this rain background in his like sea monster form. Maybe I just wanted to focus on him.
Yeah, that is true. But I guess it's kind of also different just seeing, because yeah, a lot of Disney slash Pixar movies are about the main character being about girls. But I think it's really nice that, I guess it's really different, seeing two guys being friends and having that close relationship. Um, and I think that was very different, but also really satisfying to see because you don't really see that a lot.
Hmm. But it's like most of the main characters are usually girls in Disney movies.
Um, Sometimes, well, I guess mostly like, well, just in general, Disney's meant, or I guess has that kind of like portrayal of like, Disney princesses and Disney this, even Frozen. Can't really name one. Maybe Aladdin. He's not a prince, but he ends up being involved with the princess.
Basically becomes a prince.
Lion King, there's it's still a kingdom, but I guess he's a guy. But yeah.
If
um,
you, I guess like if you like put it like into like a bucket, like if the main character is a girl or a boy, I don't know which one is more. Probably more princesses, like you would say. But there's definitely like always like there's always like a boy and a girl, or like like sort of like some romance relationship instead of like you said, close guy friendships. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not the norm because people are saying different things about that, and it just shows that it is something that isn't common anymore to have
yeah.
like very close guy friendships to be like that, to show vulnerability. Like Alberto is alone and he wanted a friend. His dad abandoned him, and he thought Luca was going to abandon him because Luca wanted to go to school with, was that Giuliana?
Mhm.
And but Luca comes back and it's like, hey, I'm sorry, and that sort of showing vulnerability and also like apologizing, and in the end they happily ever after, of course, but it's Disney. But
But yeah, there is a big contrast when we first meet Alberto. We don't really know too much about him, but he has this portrayal of like this um, big macho tough guy, and
and
just
not
takes
care about
on
anything usually,
yeah,
not
and just
worried
takes
about
on
anything.
Luca on these adventures. But then at the end, well, I guess Alberto knows what he kind of wants, because he wants a Vespa, um, and takes along, Luca along with him. But then Luca now knows what he wants. He wants to go on this journey, and then now we see, yeah, Alberto just we just get to see much more about him, and yeah, in a vulnerable state. And it's kind of crazy, and we don't really see that a lot as well. You know, Guys just opening up and just being able to just kind of show who they really are. I guess like even like in school, we don't really know like who people really are until we, I guess, invest in them and just um care about who they really are instead of like what they can benefit, how they can benefit me. And I think that's a lot of what the world mentality is.
Hmm. Some deep stuff there.
Yeah, some really deep stuff.
Going on the deep end now.
Yeah,
Better watch out. Gonna see
we
some
don't want
sea
to go to the deep
monster.
end of the ocean though.
You might see some sea monsters. But yeah, I mean, all you said is true, definitely. I think it takes that vulnerability and also just being open and, you know, reaching out.
Yeah, I think, is there anything else that I think either you really enjoyed or like, I guess, even learned?
I think I think just seeing the closeness, like, it wasn't sort of this typical like Disney movie of like, oh, somebody falls in like some relationship or like some romance, like that's so prevalent in Disney movies, generally speaking. At least from what the ones I've seen, maybe there are more there. Maybe they're not being different now and sort of like branching out, like you said, different sort of like audience, capturing different audience. But there's always that sort of like romantic relationship, and it was nice seeing the closeness between two guy friends. And honestly, I didn't even know like does like somebody like Gilliana during the movie. Like I was actually wondering about that, and I was kind of surprised that she was sort of like, I don't know, almost like a side character basically, because
Mm-hmm.
she was just used sort of like to uh I don't know, create some division between their relationship in the middle. But
But it
they
wasn't like, I guess romantic that caused the division. It was just like
exactly, yeah, it was
interest,
just,
hey, educating them in a way.
yeah, and also just like sort of their own like you said, dreams and goals that change as they find out more things. So that was actually something that I liked, and it was sort of refreshing to see that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Um, I just really liked what it looked like to, I don't know, when I see them going into Juliana's house and meeting the family, it was very relatable to me because I guess I felt a lot. I guess it reminded me of when I would visit my friend's house a lot. They would, invite you over to dinner and like, hey, so and so is coming over to dinner. And I think for me, some of the things that reminds me of like some friends like in elementary or middle school or high school. So I'm just gonna pick a few. But yeah, I remember just even in my, elementary years, I would invite a friend over sometimes and they would eat dinner with us. And it was no problem, just simple as that. Um, and even in high school, it was the same thing, um, I guess it was the culture for us, the Hispanics do that. Invite people over for dinner. I guess I was invited, and my friend just parents served like these amazing enchiladas. They were like homemade recipe. They were so different from what I've ever tasted, and just like them even experiencing pasta
Mm.
reminded me of that. I guess to my experiences in my
By
growing
them,
up.
you mean the people in the movie?
Yeah,
Like
the
they
people in the
were,
movie,
yeah,
Luca.
they were invited. Lord Luca and Alberto were invited to Gilliana's house for pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was invited to enchiladas.
Mm. And that's where they learned how to use the utensils and stuff.
Utensils, yes.
But yeah,
There is also a villain in the movie, but there's not really too much to talk about
I mean,
him.
we kind of like talked about him, the Urkaloli guy,
Yeah.
the Crowley guy. He was like the bully of like the antagonist or something
Yeah.
against Gilliana, basically like making fun of her and stuff because she's like an outsider because she comes only every summer to visit her dad
Oh, yeah,
because he
that's
usually
true.
lives in like the city with her mom, which is where Luca's going with her to school. Um, but yeah, there's not much. Basically, just he was a narcissist, basically.
Yeah, he's a pretty big narcissist.
Yeah,
And I think they also kind of mentioned that he's older and he
yeah,
picks on little kids,
he's
but
like 16, I think, or 17, something like that.
man, like it just kind of shows.
Yeah, so stay away. But yeah, that's pretty much the wrap for Luca. Um, like as you can tell, we both really enjoy the movie. So if you guys haven't given a look at, definitely check it out. Again, if Disney's listening, please sponsor us. And
I guess before we end, let's tell people how we usually, I guess, watch shows. I guess before we end, let's tell people how like we usually watch shows. Like, do we just meet up? Do we just, tell each other about a movie? Like, what is it in your eyes? What is it like?
bro, we watch most of our shows through Zoom.
Yeah, that's how we communicate. That's how, yeah, that's how we experience life together through Zoom.
That's how we're doing this podcast right now, guys.
We're inside a box.
We watch shows, we meet up, and well, that's because we kind of got the pandemic, but also because I'm like 1,000 miles away from him.
Is it really 1,000 miles?
It's like 1,300 miles or something like that.
Oh wow.
So props to modern day technology, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I'm watching it through the Zoom quality, guys. So
Oh no.
you know what that means, with that little lag and stuff. But Bob here, he's got the original.
I've offered to share. Well, I
Hey,
did share my
we
Disney
tried, but
Plus.
like
It didn't work. I mean, it worked.
No, you're not even supposed to tell that. You share subscriptions. That's
I
like
mean,
Disney's like
it just, I don't know. There was technical difficulties sometimes.
Disney's not going to sponsor us, basically.
No, Disney worked. It just didn't work over Zoom. It's Zoom.
But yeah, struggle's real. But I mean, some of the stuff we watch in movie theaters too, like some movies and stuff like that.
Like Fast 9.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah,
but that's another story, right?
That's another story. I don't know.
For another time.
I don't know if we'll actually review that, but
yeah,
because there's a whole saga of that, and it's complicated.
There are so many things that flew over my head that
way. Like I seen most of the movies growing up, but I haven't really seen anything before 9 and after probably 5 or 6.
Bro, I don't even know which ones I watched. I think I've only watched 2, including Fast and Furious 9. But yeah, is there anything else, or?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, I think that's a wrap for Luca, guys. So check it out, and thanks for listening, guys. And I hope you enjoy this podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, see ya.